Because what mountain are we moving, brothers? Exactly. We're moving Esau's government. In other words, this word of Yahweh Shemel Shine is having an effect on Esau. And this is why time is moving so quick. This is why all of these different things are happening, phenomenal, strange things are happening on the earth. This is why Esau, they're resorting to the violence. They're on drugs, they're on opioids. Why? Because the truth is getting out. And it's shaking this kingdom. Anyway, brother, go on.
2 Thessalonians 2, verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Right, with the brightness of his coming.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Right, like the RFID chip. And also his technology. Being able to come up with the idea of an atomic energy, create atomic bombs, and that kind of sort of thing. So he deceived the mass of the people by his satanic wonders. Esau, that is. That's why he's known as what is it, the red dragon that deceived the nations. That's what you call the devil. Okay, and Satan. So he's the devil and Satan performing all of these miracles, pretty much deceiving and bewitching the people. By all of these sorceries and all of that stuff. Like Esau used Beyonce and Jay-Z and all of these little slaves, right, in terms of the media, and having them to cast spells on people that are watching them. Right. And when you really understand the society as a whole, it's all based on witchcraft any dog. It's all witchcraft, subliminal messages. That's another reason why I don't watch TV.
Right.
You know? Now, if I watch TV, I watch TV just to see what the current affairs are, or to see what people are actually up on.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, that's the only reason I watch TV. Watching it, nah, you doing that. You're going, brother.
Keep an eye on your enemy, innit?
Isaiah 32, verse. Let me start with verse 6. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity.
Right, and his heart will work iniquity. The word iniquity means a multitude of sin. Go on.
To practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord.
Right.
To make empty the soul of the hungry.
Right.
And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The instruments also of the child are evil.
Right.
He deviseth wicked devices
to
destroy the poor with lying words.
Exactly.
Even when the needy speaketh right.
Exactly. So who's the needy that's speaking right? We're considered the needy because Israel is in a situation where they have to depend on Esau, their enemies, for the one of all things. So they would be considered the needy. But you have the philosophies of this world which tries to prohibit the truth, like the whole Darwinism thing. Okay, the thing of prehistory, where the earth is considered 1,000,000+ years old, and the scientists can't even come with a definitive number on actually how old the earth is. Or this animal, this creature called the Crinosaurus, I'm just making shit up, was on the earth 12 million years ago. And the reason why Esau created this philosophy of prehistory so that they can override the history of the Bible, which is the true history of mankind, which only goes back what? How long was man on the earth? From 5,000 to 6,000 years. And when was the earth created? What is it, man? The earth was created on the 7th day. The earth was completed on the 7th day. In other words, the 7,000 years. So when you combine those numbers together, how long man has been on the earth and how long the planet has been, that's about 12 to 13,000 years ago. Okay? And I'm only going to say that one time.
Isn't it recorded history only goes 3000 BC? That's when they start recording history.
Right.
So there's no written records before 3000 BC.
Exactly. Okay? So that's just the whole thing, but that's what Esau does. That's the main philosophy that the society spits out, is what they gotta say in terms of Darwinism. Billions of years old. This is 1,000,000 years old. That's all BS. Esau created that to do away with the history of the Bible. And that's why you gotta read that again. Read that again, bro.
Verse 7, Isaiah 32. The instruments also of the child are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying
What is
words.
a device? The word device means thoughts. Okay? In other words, he'll pretty much conjure up wicked philosophy for the minds of the people so that the people eventually could become accepting unto it and destroy themselves in the means. Like going all the way back to, let's just say, the 30s. Okay? The things that people accept now wasn't accepted in the 1930s. So how is it that people have changed to accept this nastiness nowadays? Okay, we talk about transgenderism, we talk about homosexuality, we talk about pedophilia. Okay, we talk about all of these different things. A lot of these things were prohibited back then. So why is it allowed right now? Because you got the powers that be that are setting trends and manipulating the minds of young people so they can destroy themselves. Okay? So the devil is spoken up in the Bible, man. Go on, brother. He devises of iniquity.
To destroy the poor with lying words.
Right.
What did he say?
When the needy speak of right.
I thought I heard right.
Support. In other words, those that are in a lower predicament, those that have to depend, those that don't have a back to stand on, they have to follow up what the media is telling them and follow up what the guy with the suit and tie is telling them, with the turkey neck to boot. Okay? And that's why, Jake, they listen to Esau, man. If they see an Edomite with a suit and tie on, they stop and they listen to what he got to say. When we speak the truth, it ain't her. Okay? But that's all right because this shoot is only for the elect anyway. Go on, brother.
Yeah, that's the point. Go back to 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 9. Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan.
Right, which is Esau. Go on.
With all power and signs and lying wonders.
Right, with all powers and signs and lying wonders. Like, for example, you have the HARP program, which they manipulate the weather. Okay, and you got certain you have this thing called Project Bluebeam, where they can actually get a picture of, let's just say, this guy right here, Cristo Cologne, this guy here, right? A picture of him, and that picture could reflect all the way to the sky.
Oh yeah.
And people will see that and think, oh shit, that's the Most High. Well, that's the law.
Hologram.
Right, hologram. So Esau got access to that kind of information, or that kind of knowledge, to where he could take a picture of a man and reflect it to the sky and shit. And that's what Esau's going to do. All of these crazy things that Esau got hidden in his back door somewhere, he's going to unleash these wonders, and people are going to bug the hell out. Okay? You even going to see Prophet Muhammad in the sky. You're going to be going crazy. They're going to see Caesar Borgia, Christian, those black ass Christians in the black ass churches. They're going to see Caesar Borgia, oh Lord. Right? They're going to go crazy, man. Even them Ishmaelites, some so-called Mexicans, they're going to go crazy too. Yeah. They worship that image, man. The Caesar piece going, bro. So Satan, see the Bible, this is why you got to get into the scriptures, man. Because the scriptures show you the end and the beginning. And that's why we can speak in terms of declaring the end from the beginning. Okay? Go on, brother.
Verse 10. And signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish.
In them that perish, go on.
Because they receive not the love of the truth.
Because they receive not the love of the truth, and that's why they're going to die out here. I'm talking about the powers that be, all the way down to these regular lower class peons, man. These lower level peasants, I have to call them what they are. Okay? They are. That's just what they are. They're going to be destroyed. But really, I got to correct myself. It's the powers that be. They're going to survive the nuclear holocaust. Okay? Just so they can be put right in chains of slavery.
Right.
Okay, go on, brother.
Job 12 and 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his.
Right, the deceived and the deceiver are his.
Right.
So also you have Esau coming with their power and their wonders and all of that stuff. That's the Most High working with them on the left-hand side. So that could be fulfilled. So read that, what you just read, brother.
With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his.
Right, so go back and read Thessalonians now.
They're saying, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9, even him who's coming is after the working of Satan,
right,
with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Guess what, brother? Stop right there. Guess who works for Satan? Salakia. Guess who Satan works for? Let me say that. The Most High, man.
Right.
Go on, brother. So the Most High is going to allow a so-called white man, or should I say Esau, let me correct myself, Esau. Because you got believers in this truth that look like Esau, but they're not Esau, they Jacob. Okay, so I got to correct myself, my bad. You know? But the point I'm trying to make is that Satan is working with Esau right now. And pretty much the Lord is allowing Satan to do certain things, to make Esau do certain things out here. So this truth is on a different level. This is why this truth ain't for everybody. Go on, brother.
So they said,
yeah, I want to talk low, brother, but I can't help myself.
and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
That they might be saved. So he's going to deceive the mass of the people using these pedophile pimp pastors. To deceive the mass of our people. Right, Eddie Longstrokes, TD fakes, TD Ballhead fakes. Right, creeping low for your dollar. Right, and all of these different
Eric Mason, he's gone missing. Eric Mason, he's gone missing.
Right, Eric, what is it? Eric Dyson, right?
Eric Mason, he's gone missing because he was the one after he came after Vocab Malone to finish his dirty work, and they ran him out of town. Ran him out of town.
So hey, that's still up, man. The Most High said the deceiver to deceive are his. So everybody on this planet serves a purpose on this planet.
Pastor Pork Chop.
Right, that's a old, bro. That's what old used to say.
Bishop Bacon.
Right, Bishop Bacon.
Deacon Donut.
Deacon Donut. The list goes on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man. So everybody serves a purpose. And Esau, which he's in power right now, he's going to use these dominions. Those that were born and paid for, those that sucked his rod or did what they had to do to sell out, Esau's going to use them to deceive these people. And that's what he's already did. Just so that his word can be fulfilled pursuant to Matthew 24. Okay, what did Yahweh tell the disciples? He said, look, you're going to have many false anointed ones coming to deceive many. How many Christians there was on the planet, brother? Many of y'all brothers. There was 2.2 billion people.
So this is the election. This was still a long time ago.
Right.
They won the election.
Right, exactly, man.
So 2, 3, 4 times over.
Yep. Exactly. And then you also got the Muslims, which I believe you have 2-point-something Muslims as well. So you're going to have false anointed ones that are going to come in the midst and deceive many people today. Okay, and when they hear this truth out here, they're going to be offended by it. And that shows you they don't got the truth. Go on, brother.
Matthew 24, verse 4. Okay. And Yahweh answered and said, in verse 3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us when shall these things be?
Right, it says, tell us when these things shall be. In other words, it's coming to end. So even the disciples were inquiring of the end of the world in their time, okay, which was the Roman Empire. And even when you read the book of Acts, chapter 1, the disciples or the prophets inquired of the end or when the kingdom of heaven was going to be restored. So we're going to read about what he said here. Go on.
And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
Okay.
And Yahweh answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
Right.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed,
That's
and shall deceive many.
That's what the word Christ means. The word Christ means the anointed one. So you're going to have Pork Chop Pastor, Bishop Bacon, TD, Eddie Longstrokes, right? TD Baldhead Fakes, Creep Low for your dollar. And all of these dragons out there, these deceivers out there, they're going to come around and deceive many people. You're going to have the Episcopalian believers. Okay, the Methodists, the Seventh-day Adventists, the Roman Catholic Church, which is known for molesting boys and little girls, man. They're going to deceive many. And that's prophecy. Go on, brother.
Revelation 16 and 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
And out of the mouth of the false prophet. What is the mouth of the false prophet? The Roman Catholic institution. Because you have 3 parts of this world. You have the war part of the world, which America takes part in that. Okay? In politics, and then you also have religion, which is in Vatican Rome in Italy. Okay? And you have another thing too. Right, the financial system, which is in Great Britain. So those are the 3 unclean frogs that came out of the dragon, which the dragon is referring to this modern day revival of ancient Rome. Okay, but we're dealing with the Roman Catholic institution, which birthed all of these false religions out there, which vocab alone in its baloney is pretty much believing in that. Right. Go on, brother. Right.
This is but they are the spirits of devils.
Let's read that again. We gotta slow that down.
For they are the spirits of devils.
What does the word devil mean? The word devil means deceiver. Then we just read the deceive and the deceiver are his. So the deceiver are the Lord's too. The Lord can use a deceiver to fulfill what's written in Matthew 24 and verse 4. Let's read Matthew. Hold what you got. Read Matthew 24 verse 4. Because the Lord is not a man that he should lie, and not a man he should repent of his word. Okay? Isaiah 55 verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth, and it shall not return unto me void, and it shall accomplish that which I please. So that's why all of this is happening.
That's right.
That we're talking about. Go on.
Matthew 24 and 4. And Yahweh shall answer and said unto them,
Take a bit louder, brother.
Take heed that no man deceive you.
All right.
For many shall come in my name.
2.2 million people have been deceived by these leaders, these religious leaders. Okay, go on.
Saying, I am anointed,
right,
and shall deceive many.
And shall deceive many. So let's say if the Roman Catholic Pope is speaking, it's going to be broadcasted on the BBC. Okay, it may even be broadcasted on Sky News. Everybody's going to get that message. Because the Roman Catholics, they're like what you call the holy men of this world. Okay? Because in every society you had what you quote unquote holy men. Okay, or men of God or some other God. So that's what Esau has. Esau has men of God to represent his world, which are those pedophile, those, those altar boy molesting, pedophiles, which are those Roman Catholic priests. Okay, they're the holy men that represent the society, which everybody got to go and listen to. All right, go on, brother.
Verse 24, for there shall arise false anointed ones and false prophets,
right,
and shall show great signs and wonders.
They shall show great signs and wonders. Go on.
Insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
Exactly, but that wasn't possible because the elect are already preordained and destined to receive the truth. And I'm not going to lie to you, we all were Christians at one time. But there came a time where we reverted back to this. We came out of the Roman Catholic Church and we wasn't in it. We came out of Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay? We came out of being Christians. And we reverted back to being a true Christian.
That's right.
Which is being an Israelite. We reverted back to who we are, nationality-wise. Tribe of Judah, so-called African American. The tribe of Benjamin, so-called West Indians, and all of those people in West Africa. Okay, the tribe of Levi, etc. This is who we are now. We reverted back to this. So now we know the truth, and we know the end game, and we know the beginning, and we know the end game. And we know that this society and people of this world have been deceived by vessels that have been set on high to deceive many, man. Okay, setting up the Roman Catholic institution, which is a part of the dragon, as we just read in Revelations. Go on, brother.
Right. Revelation 16 and 14.
All right.
They are the spirits of devils,
right,
working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth,
okay,
and of the whole world,
right,
to gather them to the battle,
into the battle,
on the great day of God Almighty.
Right, because you got those Roman Catholic priests. They're there to give advice to all of these different prime ministers too. But really, the spiritual demon Satan is working with them to fulfill prophecy, because guess what? The spiritual demon Satan works for who? The Most High. And it's nothing nobody can do about it. Because they think that they worshiping Satan, that means that they're worshiping their own entity or an entity of its own, which is Satan. No. If you believe, listen, man, I'm going to say this, man. Satan works for the Lord. Satan is not boxing with the Lord, right? Satan is working for the Lord, and we can get that in the book of Job, the 2nd chapter. But we're not going to go there yet, though.
My brother said Satan's a double agent.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Satan's a double agent. That's what he is. He acts as though he's down for his whole thing, but he's really down with the Most High. You understand? So all of these atheists and these sorcerer believers, because you got a lot of Edomites that are into witchcraft. Okay, believe it or not, you got a lot of devils that are into sorcery and witchcraft, man. And they believe in Satanism. But they believe if they can believe in Satan, they can override the plans of the Heavenly Father. But that cannot be done.
That's right.
Okay, that don't exist. The idea of overriding the plans of the Lord does not exist. Okay, it's a lie. It's a figment of one's imagination.
Right.
That's all it is. Okay, because the plans of the Lord is over man and what man has. The plans that man has, man. Go on, brother. All right, and even these different these celebrities and those that have sold their soul to Satan, okay, they're not going to fall to the plans of the Lord. Man. Go on, brother.
2 Thessalonians 2, the middle of verse 10.
Right.
Because they receive not the love of the truth.
Because they receive not the love of the truth. Go on.
That they might be saved.
That they might be saved. Yes, that's the only thing that's going to save mankind is the truth.
That's right.
Beginning with the nation of Israel. Satanism is not going to save a damn thing. Right? Satanism is going to lead to you being right down to that soil. That's what Satanism is going to lead to.
That's right.
Okay? That's the bottom line, man. Go on, brother.
And for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusions.
Exactly. Deceived and the deceiver are his.
That they should believe a lie.
So if you believe that there's no God, if you believe that there's 7 steps to heaven and all of that nonsense, the Most High pretty much deceived you into believing that nonsense. It shows your delusion. If you believe that Prophet Muhammad, he's the holy man of the Most High, you've been deceived.
The rapture.
The rapture, you've been deceived. What else, brothers?
Hell.
What's that?
Hell.
Hell.
Right, hell, you've been deceived.
Flat Earth.
The flat earth, you've been deceived. Okay? And that's just the whole...
Immaculate conception.
Right.
Virgin Mary.
Right, the virgin birth, the immaculate conception. So if you believe in these things that does not exist, which goes back to some deity somewhere, the Most High have chosen your delusion.
Jesus is God.
Jesus is God. That's another delusion. That's another bugged out delusion, man. Jesus is God. That's something that's not even biblical. Easter, which goes back to the god of Ishtar, which I believe that's the fertility goddess.
Yeah. That's Semiramis.
Semiramis and Tammuz that goes back to. All right. So if you believe in all of these different deities and philosophies, the Most High simply shows your delusion.
They say the laws are done away with as well.
Right. Oh, the laws are done away with. See, we can go on and on and on. And that shows you that these people out here, they don't know exactly what's going to befall them. They don't know the truth. They don't know what's going on. And this is why we're going to lead these motherfuckers in the kingdom.
Right.
Because we have the complete truth. They don't have the truth, man. Even Pastor Charlie Porkchop ain't got the truth.
Right.
Right. The Old Testament is done away with. Or the New Testament is done away with. But it says in the Bible that the Lord comes to the volume of the whole book. And the whole book is written of him. Give me that, brother.
It's like Hashem.
All right? Or you can go to church and sin all manner of week, right? And then go back to church and be fresh again. That's a delusion. It's awesome. Go on, brother.
Hebrews 10, verse 7. Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book.
Right.
It is written of me.
So Yahweh
to do thy will, O God.
Exactly. To do thy will, O God. In other words, to fulfill what's written therein in this book, this holy book, which this book contains the wisdom and understanding which created the heavens and the earth. Okay? Which many in this society, in this day and age, deny. And this is why they are sick to death. This is why they're dependent on all kind of drugs. Because they don't know what to freaking believe in that. Alright, if they knew that there was a higher power, they would know that there's an order to following in that higher power and conducting themselves well on this earth. Hit me with that.
Matthews 13 and 52. Then said he unto them, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven.
Right, every scribe. A scribe is someone that writes something down. Go on.
Unto the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
Is like unto a man that is an householder, which bringeth forth out of his treasure things new and old.
Right, things new and old. That's the New Testament and the Old Testament. So you got to combine the two together. You got these Old Testamenters, they don't believe in the New Testament. They believe, oh, the Lord already came already. That's all nonsense, man. But again, the Lord have sent them strong delusions that they shall believe a lie. let's read that one more time, brother. Because I want to recap back on my train of thought. I was going to say something else on that. You know, and that's just the thing, man. These people, they really think that they're doing something because they live in their life. And nothing happened to them. But they're going to find out that they ain't got nothing, man.
This is on Songs of Solomon 7 verse 13. The mandrakes give a smell.
Now read the other precept again, brother. The other precept.
Matthew 13 and 52. Then said he unto them, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven.
Right, every scribe that which is instructed of the kingdom of heaven. I'm going to have to calm down now. Calm the spirit down. Go on, bro.
It's like unto a man that is an householder which bringeth forth out of his treasure things new and old.
Right, things new and old, which is, like I said, the Old Testament and New Testament. And in order for you to bring all of the precepts together to make the point quite clear, or more clearer, because the Bible makes itself clear anyway. But if you really want to make the point much more clearer, you gotta bring those Old Testament precepts and combine and link it up with the New Testament precepts. Now you're doing something. That's why it says precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, man.
This is the treasure.
Yeah.
It says, which bringeth forth out of his treasure.
Right, which bringeth forth out
of the treasure, which is this, things new and old.
So we bringing out to you all of these precepts, all that it is written. So we may go into the history of Joshua, or we may go into the history of King David. So that's bringing out the old treasure. Go on.
Songs of Solomon 7 verse 13. The mandrakes give a smell, and at our gates are all manner of pleasant fruits,
right,
new and old.
That's it.
Which I have laid up for thee, right, O my beloved.
O my beloved. So we have the fruits, and the fruits is pretty much referring around this knowledge here. So we have the old fruit and the new fruit, which is the New Testament and the Old Testament. It's just simply put. Okay? So there's no such thing, I don't cut you, brother. There's no such thing as, oh, we just gotta just put away the New Testament, or we just gotta put away the Old Testament because that's the past, and we gotta put the past to the back. No, we don't do that. The Lord says, what does the scripture says? The scripture says, seek out the old way. So you ain't supposed to do away with the past like that. Go on, brother. You wanted to say something.
Can I break it down?
You go on.
Let me start from verse 9. And the roof of thy mouth like the best wine for my beloved,
right,
that goeth down sweetly, causing the lips of those that are asleep.
I gotta break it down, brother.
To speak.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So the wine, the sweet wine is what we got. The old sweet wine that's above all of these current wines is these scriptures right here. And like I said, and I'm going to say it again, once you master the precepts and the scriptures, you pretty much master the art of this life over here.
That's right.
Although we're relatively young men, approaching our 30s, but we're still wise, pretty much like old age men, okay? We know all about this life. This is why we don't got to go up and down and try to impress people, trying to prove a point to people. We just be low-key and keep it simple. Because we know the end result of this life or this world. And that's a bold-ass statement I've made. But guess what? It's the truth. Okay? Because the truth be told, as we've always been teaching all along, is that this society, as we know it as, is going to be destroyed by those nuclear missiles. And that's what's going to happen. And all of you wicked MFs out there that don't want to take heed of this, you're going to be consuming that lake of fire.
That's right.
All right? Go on, brother. And that's what we know definitively that's going to come to pass. Go on.
Causing the lips of those that are asleep to speak.
Right, causing those of the lips to, those that are asleep to speak. So we will be awakened because of this sweet wine that we give.
Right.
Okay? What does it mean that we were asleep? Meaning we were Gentiles in the flesh. Okay, give me that in 2 Corinthians, I believe it's 1 Corinthians 12. Because we were once in a Gentile state of mind. In other words, we were asleep. Matter of fact, you know, drop that, brother. Give me Revelations 11. Out of his dead bodies awoke. We should not, going to dead bodies or something like that.
Revelation 11:8.
Yeah, 11 and 8. Come on, yeah, give me that one. Yeah, so that's just the thing. So we arose and out of sleep. Matter of fact, brother, what you got? Give me Romans. I'll tell you what. Yeah, give me Romans 13 and 11, brother. Salaki. Hold Revelations, though. Give me Romans 13 and 11. Because what did Paul say? Paul said it is high time to wake out of sleep, didn't he? Okay.
Romans 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time.
And that knowing the time, because we know the time. Go on.
That now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
To awake out of sleep. Go on.
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
So that means we gotta gravitate or drink a sip of the sweet old wine. Let's read that verse, brother. Go back to that.
Song of Solomon 7 verse 9, and the roof of thy mouth like the best wine for my beloved.
In other words, the best knowledge. We got the A1 knowledge. Okay, we have the knowledge of pretty much knowing everything. And that's why we're going to be the best rulers of the earth. The word, I use the term best rulers because the word goes back to aristocracy. We're going to be the aristocracy of the next world, which the word aristocracy means the best rule because we have the best knowledge. Go on, brother, read that again.
And the roof of thy mouth like the best wine for my beloved, that goeth down sweetly, causing the lips of those that are asleep to speak.
Exactly, to speak the word. Okay, and that means those of our people that are not a part of the truth, that are awake, that are going to become awakened to the truth. So we're there to pretty much rise them up out of sleep so that they can go and get this light. That's why those talks about how the spirit of life entered into the prophets. Reverting back to the sweet old wine.
That's the spirit. This blood's got a shirt and it's got dry bones.
Right. And dry bones in the valley. Exactly. You see that? So you might have an elect that's in that state, a dry bone state, but then all of those bones come together as he's getting the word, which is that sweet wine. Go on, brother.
Say, I am my beloved's
vision of the
and his desire is toward me. Come, my beloved.
Read that again. Read that verse.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite scriptures.
I am my beloved's, and his desire is toward me.
Right.
Come, my beloved, let us go forth into the field.
Right.
Let us lodge in the villages.
Okay, go on.
In the streets, innit?
Oh yeah, right. The streets. In other words, we would go out into the gaps of the city.
Right.
So this is the villages that we're in. That's why it tells us in Luke 14 to go out and preach the word into the highways and the highways and the byways. I say byways, but it's really the highways and the hedges.
Raise the voice, shake the hand.
Right, and to raise the voice and to shake the hand. So that's what we're supposed to be doing with the best wine that we got. Okay? And this is the way it's done. So when you got these pastors out there deceiving the people inside of a goddamn building, a dilapidated hot building in there, they're not doing the Lord's work the right way. And they really, if they're smart, if they're wise, they should just put the Bible down and close the book. Otherwise, they're going to bring themselves to further more condemnation. Okay, because they're also dealing with the wine. It talks about maybe what is it? 1 Corinthians 11, verse 27. It talks about whosoever drinketh of this wine, eat of this bread unworthily. Because the Lord is getting ready to bring destruction in the eyes of these people. And also those that proclaim to be leaders of these different religions out there. They're going to be found more accountable for lying with the words of the Lord. So let's read that, brother.
1 Corinthians 11, verse 27.
All right.
Wherefore whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord.
So it says, whosoever eat this bread and drink of this cup, in other words, this wine. This sweet wine that Solomon was referring this knowledge to. Go on.
Unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord.
Right. In other words, you're gonna have to, because you got the blood on your hands. Now it is a recompense to your error, and the recompense is going to be the overriding destruction which will come upon your family and your children. And last but not least, yourself. And that could be you, vocab alone.
Right.
Okay, that could be you, all of you guys decided kicking with this nutcake, man. This nutcase. And then he had the nerve to side with a damn fruitcake at the same time, man. So if anything, he should have no business dealing with these scriptures out here or talking about the Hebrew Israelites. Put the book down and make your money the way that you made it before. Okay? Boom. I don't mean to, shout like that, man. But sometimes you just gotta do it. Sometimes the spirit have it that way, man. Because we're men. We're not little